In this video, we're going to learn how to get to the bank reconciliation screen, the layout of the screen, the common reconciliation scenarios of match, create, find and match, minor adjustments, and find and match with split, along with the auto memorization feature, the discuss tab, and bank rules. Starting on the dashboard. To do our reconciliation, we need to get to the bank reconciliation screen. The quickest way to do that is to click the Reconcile 28 Items button on the bank account here. So this button shows you how many bank statement lines you need to reconcile and gets you to the bank reconciliation screen. Now we're in the bank reconciliation screen, and here we will see a list of transactions on the left-hand side. These have come from your bank account the night before if you have automatic feeds set up. So keep in mind the transactions aren't up to date, they are a day behind. So any transactions you make today won't show in your Xero until tomorrow. If the amount is on the right-hand side, it is funds coming into your account. If it is on the left-hand side, it is funds going out of your account. So the bank statement line shows the date of the transaction, the payee, and also any reference used. You can click this More Details link to see further information for the bank statement line. So all these grey boxes on the left-hand side are bank statement lines that have come in from your bank account, and there can be up to 10 to a page. On the right-hand side of the screen are the Xero transactions you need to match to. If you've already got transactions entered in Xero, such as your sales invoices, Xero will make an intelligent match to the correct bank statement line and does this according to the amount, the closest due date, and the contact name. So here we see that Xero has suggested a match between the first bank statement line of $6,187.50 from Ridgeway University to an invoice that is already entered in Xero, as you will see here. So all we need to do is check the suggestion is correct, and then we click this OK button. And then this matches the bank statement line to the invoice. And with this second example, we have a bank statement line of money going out of $1,181.25 going to Truxton Property Management. Xero has made a suggested match between the bank statement line and a bill that is already entered in Xero. So again, we just double check the suggestion is correct, and then we click OK. And again, Xero matches the bank statement line to the bill. If you don't have the transactions already entered in Xero, i.e. you haven't entered a sales invoice or bill, you need to create a transaction to match to. And this is what you see here. We have spent money going to Cooper Street Bakery, which there's no transaction to match to. So Xero has made ready for you to create a transaction on the fly. So let's learn how to use the Create feature. The Who field is the contact you want the transaction to be under. So if the contact already exists, just start typing it into the field and select it from the drop-down. However, as in this case, if the contact is new, you can just type it in and click plus new contact. The What field is the chart of account code the transaction should be coded to. You can start typing it in if you know it, or you can click this down arrow and search the list. The Why field is for a description of the transaction, which you may not need, but can be useful for your bookkeeper or accountant, so they can check you've used the right chart of account code. So for this example, I'm going to put morning tea with Sam. When that's all complete, I'm going to press this OK button. And what that does is two things. It creates the transaction and matches it to the bank statement line so they are linked together. Let's do another example. We'll see here another Cooper Street bakery below. The great thing about Xero is it has an auto-memorization feature that will suggest data for a transaction based on previous reconciliation. So it will auto-suggest transactions as much as possible. So I'm going to refresh my screen. And here we will see Xero's auto-memorization feature in action. It has suggested data based on our previous transaction made to Cooper Street Bakery. So when Xero makes an auto-suggestion, just double check that the information is correct before getting too trigger happy with pressing the OK button, because it doesn't always get it right. But for this example, it is right, so I'll go ahead and press OK. In this example, we have spent $4,500, but Xero hasn't matched it to a bill. So this must mean we either have paid for multiple bills in one transaction, or have made a part payment on a bill, or we've really made an error and paid too much or too little of what we owe. So we're going to look for the bills under their contact and see what is going on. To search for invoices or bills already entered, we need to click this Find and Match link and type in the contact name in the search box. And we can see here two invoices made out to Smart Agency, both of which are referenced in the bank statement line and add up to the $4,500 that has been paid. So I need to select both of these invoices by ticking the check boxes on the left, and then scroll down and click this green Reconcile button. So we use the Find and Match link to search for all invoices and bills under a contact and reconcile them to the bank statement line. If we have a look at this example here, we've received $100 from City Limousines with a note that says, "Wasn't sure where to code this one." Here, two things are being demonstrated. The first is the Discuss tab. You can use this to leave notes for other users like your accountant or bookkeeper with any questions or comments you have. So, for example, if you don't know how to treat a transaction, you can click the Discuss tab, leave a message that says as such, and then click the Save button. This message will display for everyone who can view the bank reconciliation screen. They can then edit that message and reply to you in return. The second scenario this example is demonstrating is, again, Xero hasn't matched the amount to an invoice, so we need to search the invoices for this customer to see what is going on. Again, we're going to use the Find and Match feature and search for City Limousines. And we see from the bank statement line that there is a reference of 0017. So this must be a part payment for invoice 0017. To deal with part payment of an invoice, we need to use the Split feature. To do this, we select the invoice and then click this blue Split link that comes up. Xero will automatically fill in the part payment box from the bank statement line amount. So all we have to do is press Split and then scroll down and press Reconcile. And now Xero has matched the bank statement line to the invoice and put a part payment transaction to the invoice of $100. And I will just quickly show you how this part payment looks on the invoice. Let's look at this example here. There is a payment of $59.55 going to Swanston Security, but Xero hasn't matched it to a bill that I know is already entered. So let's use Find and Match to search for the bill and see what is going on. So we see that the bill amount is $59.54, so we've paid 1 cent more, and therefore the bank statement line has not matched to the bill because they are not exactly the same. So to reconcile amounts that are a few cents under or over, we use the minor adjustment feature. First, we need to select the invoice, and then we need to scroll down and click the down arrow of this Adjustments button. Then we select Minor Adjustment. We then need to fill in the adjustment amount, and then we can click the green Reconcile button. And Xero will match the bank statement line to the bill and also create a minor adjustment transaction. In this example here, we see that Xero is asking us to apply a rule. This particular rule is a bank rule, which you can set up to tell Xero how to deal with recurring transactions. You would use these if the auto memorization feature isn't working for your common recurring transactions. With bank rules, you tell Xero a set of parameters to look for in the bank statement line and what transaction it should create when the bank statement line matches those parameters. And this is the setup of a bank rule. You need to tell Xero the parameters to look for in the bank statement line, and then tell Xero the details it should include for the transaction. Bank rules can be quite tricky to set up correctly, so if you are attempting this and the rules aren't working, get in touch and we can help. So to round up, we have looked at 5 common reconciliation scenarios and 3 features. Match. This is where Xero suggests a match between a bank statement line and a transaction already entered in Xero, such as your sales invoices. Create, where there is no transaction already entered to match to, so you have to create it on the fly. Note, Xero calls these spend money transactions for outgoings and receive money transactions for incomings. Find and match. This is what you use to search for multiple invoices to reconcile to one bank statement line. Find and match with split, where you search for an invoice that you have made or received a part payment for. Auto memorization, where Xero uses machine learning to suggest transactions based on previous entries, which makes reconciliation easier, but just double check the suggestion is correct before pressing OK. Minor adjustments. If the bank statement line is 1 or 2 cents out from the invoice or bill amount, use the minor adjustments feature to reconcile the transaction. Only use this for a few cents difference. Any more needs to be dealt with using split. Bank rules. These can be set up if Xero's auto memorization doesn't work. This is usually when the bank statement line has a subtle difference each time it occurs. Discuss. You can use this tab to leave notes about the transaction for other users who have access to the bank reconciliation screen.